What's up guys, it's your boy Darkskin, and today we're going to be talking about my first impressions of One Piece Odyssey. I have a couple of different things I want to talk about specifically so that you guys can understand everything that I want to talk about, and I will have timestamps if you guys want to go to anything specific. The first thing I want to talk about is the story. The story for One Piece Odyssey is actually really good. They do a great job of bringing you a mostly original story so that you don't have to get into that feeling of, I'm playing the exact same thing I already know. I feel like with Dragon Ball Z games, almost every single one of them, besides Xenoverse, just have the exact same story every single time, so it gets really stale really fast. Well, with One Piece Odyssey, that isn't the case. Almost everything in the story is original, and on top of it being original, it's actually pretty good. A lot of this stuff makes a lot of sense, so it's not like they created a story from scratch that doesn't give you any reason to actually be playing it. The crew gets shipwrecked onto this island, and after being on the island for a little bit, they encounter a couple of different people, one of those people being Lim. Lim ends up touching all of the crew members, and in doing so, she ends up taking away their memories of their skills and abilities. I really like how they set up this story because basically they come to the island super strong, they have all of their moves and everything like that, but after Lim takes their memories, they're basically reset down to like a level 1 character. And what this does is it basically makes sure that even though you are Luffy and you are a super strong character, or you're Zoro and you're super strong, they reset them, so it forces you to dive into the RPG aspect where you basically have to go around the world, you have to search for your memories, and you have to get your skills back eventually. This setup makes the most sense because a lot of games will have you at level 1 whenever your character is technically supposed to be really strong. So I really like that they incorporated the team actually being strong and losing their memories so that their skills got reset. Over the course of the story, you're going to go to many different places that you've already visited, like Water 7, Alabasta, and Dressrosa. The reason why I said most of the story is original, because there's a little bit of the story that ties into the main actual storyline of One Piece, but they make it as original as possible, so I think it's a really good way that they did that. Moving on to the combat. I feel like they did the combat in such an insane way opposed to a lot of other RPGs. A lot of other RPGs don't do it bad necessarily, like Fire Emblem or whatever other ones you want to play, but I feel like with One Piece Odyssey, they did it so well. From being able to switch characters in and out whenever you want to, or being able to choose who has the first turn or goes next, to having different battlefields so that you can fight enemies in one area or you can jump to another area and fight enemies over there. I feel like everything they did with the combat system really makes it shine. Talking about the battlefields, I also think it's really cool that some of the moves are melee moves or close range moves, and then some of the other moves are long range moves that you can use up close or further away. This will enable you to pick and choose what you need to do in order to win. Overall, the combat is something I didn't know I was going to love so much, but I do. Next up is the exploration. One Piece Odyssey has taken the route of making the game pretty much open world. It's not truly open world like Breath of the Wild, but it's like semi-open world, so it's like you can go to different areas and look at different things, but you can't go to 100% of the map, which is completely fine. But even still, the exploration is really great. There are a lot of different areas that you can go that are off the linear path, and on top of that, there are multiple dungeons, or I don't think they call them dungeons, they call them like caves or other things like that, but they're basically dungeons that you're able to go into and explore, and they have a lot of different resources and upgrades and materials in there that you can get for your team. Overall, I think exploration was done really good as well. Not to mention, you can actually switch between characters in the open world, and depending on who you use, you have different functions. Like Nami is able to find money out in the world, or you look at someone like Zoro, he's able to cut down metal walls or stone walls or different things like that to get to new areas, opposed to Luffy being able to stretch over large gaps. There's multiple different things you can do depending on which character you're using. Overall, the exploration is a really nice touch and addition to the game, and I'm really glad that they made the choice to put it in there. And lastly, we have presentation. The presentation for this game is amazing. This is easily one of the best looking anime games I've ever seen. One of the games that this reminded me of as far as presentation was Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and let me tell you, this stacks up just nicely. The art style is phenomenal. I feel like the music is nice, but let me tell you, the cutscenes in this game, they definitely went above and beyond. Also, the fact that everything in the game is voice acted is really, really nice, because a lot of people don't want to have to read every single text they see on the screen, and the fact that everything's, or most of the things are voice acted, makes it really good. Now, one thing I do want to say is, and I'm not sure if this is going to be out in the full game, but you can't switch it to English. Now, I have no problem with that because I like mine in subbed, but I know a lot of people want to have their game in English. So I'm not sure if that's going to change or not as far as the full release, but if it doesn't, that is going to be one thing that I feel like should have happened. In conclusion, I think One Piece Odyssey is an amazing game. I can't wait to play the rest of it. As far as my first impressions, I'm very excited and I'm very happy with how this game came out. There are some minor things that could be changed, but for the most part, I think this is a very complete game. I'm going to make sure to cover it in its entirety on my channel. And if you guys end up getting the game, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, comment down below, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.